practice prone shavasana with a blanket roll underneath the low belly. So roll up your blanket as you see here, and then come onto your hands and knees and rest your belly down on the blanket roll. And take the blanket roll fairly low in the belly, but the pelvis should be hanging back and over it. So you have to play with the placement of the blanket roll to find a good place in the low belly, definitely below the rib cage. But let the pelvis and the rib cage be on opposite sides of the blanket roll. So the pelvis relaxes on one side of the blanket roll and the rib cage relaxes on the other. And the abdomen recedes to receive the pressure of the blanket roll. Let the belly be soft and receptive here. And let the belly receive the pressure of the blanket roll. You can let your forehead rest on your forearms. Relax the legs and the feet. So you should feel some pressure in your belly here from the blanket roll. And adjust your body so that you can relax here. Adjust the arms and the legs as you need to. If you like, you can open up the arms and turn your head to one side if that works for you. And if you do that, just be sure to switch your head in a few moments. Breathe into your belly here. Breathe into that pressure that you feel in the belly. Inhaling and exhaling here. Let the upper buttocks release back and down away from the lower back. Heavy tailbone here. Soft, receptive abdomen. Smooth inhalation. Smooth exhalation. Allow yourself to be supported by the floor and the blanket roll. Smooth, gradual breath. And just observe here, observing each moment. And then come up to hands and knees to come out of the pose. Sit down on your shins and pause. Now we'll practice a variation of child's pose, which will include an abdominal massage. So start on hands and knees and bring your shins together. And then sit back onto your heels. Make a fist with your right hand and place your fist onto the left side of your belly under your rib cage. And then place the left fist in front of the right fist. And let both fists sink deep into the left side of your belly as you fold forward. And your left thigh will press your fists deeper into your belly. You can let your fists squirm around a little bit so that the belly is receiving the pressure of the fists. So you allow your fists to wiggle and squirm, moving deeper into the soft, receptive belly. And you will encounter some discomfort here, some tight places. And breathe there. And then inhale and roll yourself up and place your left fist onto the right side of your abdomen underneath the right ribs in the front. And then place your right fist in front of the left fist, so stacking those fists. And then come over into a child's pose, bending forward, and that right thigh will help the fists move deep into the right side of your belly. And let those fists move and squirm around a little bit, giving yourself some gentle but substantial pressure in the abdomen. making space in there, learning to soften the tight places, learning to ungrip, to relax in the abdomen. Breathe here into your belly, breathe into the back body. And then inhale and roll yourself up. And exhale, relaxing here. We'll do extended child's pose with knees wide and with a blanket roll at the hip crease. So take your blanket and roll it up, and then pull the blanket roll into your hip crease and lift your belly up and over the blanket roll. Put your hands on blocks and start to extend your arms, extend your armpits, pull your outer hips back and down, and come into this extended child. Press the blocks forward, widen your hands and press your handprints into the blocks and keep those arms extended. Keep the sides of your waist extended and feel the pressure of the blanket going into the low belly. So the belly is receding back towards the lumbar spine, which is rounding gently. So the lumbar area becomes spacious and long and broad. Breathe here and let your forehead rest down. Be long in the front of the thoracic spine, even though the belly is receding back. Soft belly receding back. So let the belly receive the blanket roll. And then start to come up out of the pose. And now we'll practice a deep lunge with a side bend. So lower your hands down onto the blocks and step your left foot back into a lunge. Deep in the lunge, keep the back leg active. Gather the right femur into the hip socket. And then elongate the left leg further back. And lower the back knee down. Let the tailbone move into the body and lift the low belly. Gather your outer right thigh towards the hip. So pull from the outer right knee to the outer hip energetically. And then take the block that's on the right side of your foot and move that block all the way out to the right, in line with your right hip and out to the side. And then take a side bend into that right hand, which is on the block. So we're in a deep lunge and then adding a side bend to that as well. Leaning over to the right, gathering that outer right femur into the hip socket, and then gather both outer hips towards each other. Lift the low belly. Let the sacrum move forward towards the front heel. Bend further to the side. And then swing your left arm around, back down to the block. Lift your back thigh up as you tuck the toes. And step your back foot forward. And then bend your knees and step your right foot back into a lunge for the other side. Square your hips here by gathering that left femur towards the hip socket. Keep the back inner thigh lifting. Lengthen the spine here, buoyant in the belly. Reach the right thigh further back and then drop the right knee down. And then let the pelvis sink forward towards that front heel. Lift the low belly. Gather your outer hips in. And take the block that's under your left hand and move it all the way out to the side in line with your left hip. And then start to side bend yourself, lifting the right arm up and over. Side bend to the left. Let the tailbone move forward. Bend the front knee. Lift the low belly. Kick the right foot into the floor and bend even deeper to the side. Side bending to the left, Gather the outer left thigh from the outer knee to the outer hip and gather the hips towards the midline. Tailbone anchoring deeper into the body. And then swing your arm forward and around to come back to the block. Lift the back thigh to come into a simple lunge again. And then step your back foot forward, soft knees, hands to the outer hips, stretch your chest forward and come up. And now for Supta Urdhva Hastasana. Make sure that the flesh of your buttocks is pulled away from the low back, and then stretch your legs out one at a time and reach your arms up overhead but along the floor. And stretch your whole body out in this manner. Open the feet, open the toes, roll your thighs in and ground your thighs down towards the mat. And pull your rib cage long away from the legs. Lengthen and extend your arms. So pull your legs towards the feet and pull your arms towards the hands. And let your abdomen, let your whole midsection, let your lumbar receive that stretch. Breathing here as you stretch the legs and stretch the sides of your belly, stretch the arms. Relax and release any tension that's unnecessary as you lengthen. And then bend your knees and come back to neutral. And lay down on your back now for a supine twist. Extend your arms out to the sides. Lift your knees up over your hips. And then take your knees over to the right towards your right elbow. And rest your legs down on the floor here. And then reach the left arm to the left to increase the twist. Feel your belly rolling to the left as your legs relax more and more to the right. Have a sense of widening across the collarbones, long and wide through the arms, open hands. You can ground your arms down into the floor, lengthen the spine here, and turn the belly more to the left as you relax the legs more to the right. And then bring your legs up to the center. And take your legs over towards the left elbow, knees nice and bent. Take a moment as you settle your body here. Reach the right arm to the right to help open the chest. And let your belly recede and roll to the right as you relax your legs more and more to the left. Spread through the arms, long spine, smooth breath. Roll the belly to the right. And then take the legs back to center and feet down. Now get ready for Supta Baddha Konasana. So have your bolster on the sticky mat lengthwise. And have an open blanket near your feet as you see here. And tuck your buttocks under so the flesh of your buttocks is pulled away from your lower back, and then lengthen yourself back out onto the bolster. And let your feet come together and the knees open, and wrap the blanket over the feet. Find a way to bunch up the blanket so that you're supported. And then grab onto opposite elbows and have your arms all the way overhead. Relax and release the internal trunk here so that your breath can move freely through the trunk. Let the breath move up and down the spine. And as you relax in your trunk, see if more length comes naturally. Relax and release the abdomen, unsticking, ungripping any contraction